Okay, as we continue here with section 2.4, there are just certain graphs, and we've been over this in class, but there are certain graphs that you need to learn from memory. And we're going to refer to these as library of functions. So, I'd like you to know how to graph these without using your calculator. You may need to cheat the first time, but then I'd like you to get kind of a basic understanding of how to do it without using the calculator. So, you know what y equals x squared looks like. That is just a basic parabola whose vertex is the origin. And I think in class when we described it, I asked you what it was and you said it looked like a U. And that, that's a good gut level description. It's a U, of course, with arrows because it never stops, but the vertex is 0, 0. Y equals the absolute value of x also never stops, and I think the way we described that one in class the other night was we said that looked like the letter V. But it's very, it's not curvy, it's very straight edges. Okay, so it's a V, and of course I put the arrows on the top indicating it's opening up. So, a basic parabola we would say is a U. An absolute value is a V. Y equals x to the negative 1 is 1 over x. Now that is my reciprocal function. And we just graphed that in the previous example. We have a branch in quadrant 1. We have a branch in quadrant 3. It's symmetric with respect to the origin. And you have both a horizontal and a vertical asymptote. Meaning this graph gets closer to the x-axis but never touches, and the same in regard to y. Okay? The way we described y equals x cubed, and of course if you want to put that in your calculator just to cheat for a minute, the way we describe that is kind of a snake-like shape that sort of meanders through quadrants 1 and 3. Okay. And the last one I'd like you to just sort of have burned into your brain is y equals the square root of x. And I think the way we described that the other night in class was it emanates from 0, 0. It's a curve, it's not a straight line, it's curvy, and it heads out to the right. So basically the way you described it, I think, to me, which was a good explanation, was it almost looks like a parabola opening to the side with the bottom half missing. Okay? What I'd like you to do with these graphs, y equals x squared, basic parabola. Y equals absolute value of x, basic V. Y equals 1 over x, reciprocal function, 2 branches in quadrants 1 and 3. Y equals x cubed, snake-like shape meandering through quadrants 1 and 3. And y equals the square root of x is in quadrant 1. Touching at 0, 0, kind of like the upper half of a parabola. Of course, this parabola wouldn't be a function if it were a whole parabola, but it's only the upper half. So just commit those to memory. They're going to help when we move on in this unit. Okay?